everybody, hello everyone, how are you? Hope all of you are in a good health. Today we will make a summary about our topics. The first one called adaptation. The first one called what? Adaptation. Look, we cold when the weather is very cold. What do you do to avoid this coldness? I think you wear heavy clothes, right? So you deal with your environment, right? So we can deal with our environment. This dealing called what? Adaptation. And second one, when the weather is very hot, what do you do to avoid the hotness? Yeah, I can hear you. Drink a lot of water and wear light clothes. So this is called dealing to your environment. Deal with your environment. This is called adapt. Adapt means deal. Adapt means deal. So we can deal or adapt with our environment. That means adaptation. That means what? Adaptation. So we adapt means deal. Adaptation means dealing. Okay. Do you know animals adapt with their environment too by different ways? Look, this animal called, I can hear you, camel, and it lives in desert. How can it adapt? All camels have the structure called hump. All camels have hump. The hump stores fat to get energy. The hump stores fat to get energy. So look, penguins. This is penguins. All the time they live in snows or oceans. Yeah? Yeah. So how can it adapt? Adapt by many things. At first it has feathers. It has feathers. And so important this information, the penguin doesn't have fur. Penguin doesn't have fur. What? Yeah, penguin have feather, not fur. Penguin has feather, not fur. Okay? Important. How can it adapt with the coldness? It has fat layer inside their body. Under the feather, there's a fat layer. The fat layer keep the body warm. Okay? What does it mean by adaptation after all of this illustration? We help living organisms to survive. We helps living organisms to survive. So adaptation we help living organisms to survive. It's so easy. Okay, why living organisms make adaptation? Why we deal to our environment or with our environment? We deal with our environment to survive. We deal with our environment why? To survive. And we have new question called give reason. Give reason means why. Give reasons means why. Give reason means why. So when I ask you give reason, living organism make adaptation, you have to write to survive. You have to write to survive. Okay? We have types of adaptation. First one called structural adaptation. The second one called behavioral adaptation. So what's the difference? Structural means a change in the structure of animal, change in the shape of animal, change in its structure in its body. But the behavioral adaptation means a change the behavior, something that the animal do of animal to adapt with the environment. So when you see structure, structural, structure, structural, but behavior, behavioral, behavior, behavioral, structure, structural. Okay? Give example. Look, this animal called fennec fox and its habitat desert. When I ask you, it has large ears. Look, large ears. This from the shape of it, or this from something that it do? Yeah, I can hear you. From the shape. So because it's shape, so it's a structural adaptation. Okay? Look, it has sandy color. Look, like the sand. Exactly. The fur of fennec fox like the sand. Why? To hide in the sand, to be hidden. Okay, to blending. It has special large ears. Why? Why it has large ears? To excellent hearing. To excellent hearing. When I said it lives in burrow, it can live in burrow. Why? To stay cool. And it eat different types of food. Insect, plants, leftovers, and other animals. So which of them is structural and which of them behavioral? Sandy color, so its shape. Special large ears inside its shape. But here, eat the behavior and live in burrow the behavior. Yes, so this is a structural adaptation, but this is behavioral. Structural means it's a shape, structure, it's a shape. Behavioral, behavior, behavior. Okay? Look, this is called Arctic fox. We have two foxes. Arctic live in tundra or Arctic area, but the fennec fox live in desert. Arctic fox has white fur. It has thick fur to keep body warm. Thick fur why? To keep body warm. White fur in winter to blending with snows. Look, it lives in the snows. To blending, it has white fur. It has short or large ears. Look, the short ears. Okay, it has excellent hearing sense too. This all of these structural adaptation. Why? Because all of them from the structure, from the shape. Short ears, short legs, and white fur, thick fur, all of them from structure, from the shape. So it's called structural adaptation. Okay, look, when I ask you, it live in burrow and eat different type or kinds of food. So the structural or behavioral? Yeah, I can hear you. Behavioral adaptation. Behavioral means behavior or something. Okay, we have something called camouflage. We have something called camouflage. Camouflage, what does it mean by camouflage? Look to know what does it mean by camouflage. Look at this picture. You can detect where is the animal. Yeah, no, I can't. After some seconds or after 1 minute, I can detect it. So this called blending. This called blending. What does it mean by blending? I cannot differentiate between the environment and the animal. So the blending called camouflage property. Called camouflage property. Okay, look here. Where is the animal here? After 5 or 6 seconds, you can detect this animal here, look. So I can differentiate between the animal and the environment. This called blending called camouflage. Look here, other animal camouflage so that they sneak up of their prey without being seen. Sneak up. Why animals make blending or why animals make camouflage? To sneak up on their prey. To sneak up on their prey. To get their prey. To wait their prey from being seen without being seen. Look. Yeah, it just like the environment. The owl just like the environment from the colors. Okay, from the structure. So this called camouflage. This called camouflage. Camouflage means blending. Blending looks like the environment that you live in. Looks like the environment that you live in. Okay? Look here. it blending in forest and this blending in its environment. All of this called the blending from camouflage. Okay, and continue adaptation to know more about it. Look at this called bull shark. Or what? Bull shark. Okay, what do you notice in this shape? Look at the shape or the color of bull shark. Look. Yeah, it has two colors. It has dark back and white belly. It has dark and white. So these two colors, why? Why? Now we will know to hide from their prey, to sneak up, to hide from their prey, to be hidden. Okay? Look, this is called property called counter shading in bull shark only. Bull shark only has counter shading property. You have to know counter shading. What does it mean? Bull shark have counter shading property to hide from their prey. Counter shading means two colors, dark back and white belly. Dark back and white belly. This is called counter shading. Counter shading in bull shark only. So when I ask you about counter shading, you have to remember directly the bull shark. When I ask you about the property inside the bull shark, we have directly to remember the counter shading property. When I ask you bull shark have what? Counter shading. Super. Counter shading considered as what? Adaptation. Look, inside its shape or it's something that do. Think, yeah, super, I can hear you. It's a structural. Why? Because it's inside its shape. So it's called structural adaptation. Okay, bull shark has sharp, look, wow, it has sharp teeth. Okay, so this from structural or behavioral? Yeah, structural adaptation. Why? To help to sneak up on prey. To help to sneak up prey. Bull shark hunt different places and by the day as well as the night. It hunt all the day as well as the night. This is from what? Structural or behavioral? Yeah, I can hear you. This is from behavioral adaptation because something that the animal do not inside the shape or the structure. Okay, you know, we have another animal called panther chameleon. Panther chameleon. It lives in rainforests. Its habitat, rainforest. It has something like it has brightly colored scale. Its eye moves. It can move its eye in different directions, in opposite direction, and it has very long sticky tongue, V-shaped feet. Okay, when I ask you, it has brightly colored scale, a structural or behavioral? Yeah, I can hear you. This from the shape, so it's a structural. Okay, when I ask you, it have very long sticky tongue, very long sticky tongue. Yes, it's from the structure, so it's structural adaptation. When I ask you, it has, look, V shape, V shape feet. Look, their feet, V shape. Why? To can climbing, to can climbing for the structural adaptation. Okay. When I ask you, this chameleon can buff up its body with air to feel danger to their predators. It buffs its body when it feels danger. It can buff its body. So this is behavior. Yeah, so it's from behavioral adaptation. It open its mouth wide. It can open the mouth wide. Behavioral. Change the color. It's a scale. Behavioral. Okay. Okay. I want to know something about bats. Do something about bats. Bats can sleep upside down. Bats sleep upside down. Why? To can catch a prey easily. Bats sleep upside down to can catch easily. And using what to catch a prey? Using something called echolocation. Using something called echolocation. What does it mean by echolocation? It's a property to know the location of things by using sound. It produces sound, and when the sound hits something, it returns back to it and know the location, so go and hunt the prey. This is called echolocation. So bat sleep upside down and use echolocation. Bat sleep upside down and use echolocation. Why? Why? To gather praise. Why? To gather praise. Okay, we will continue adaptation but about the plant adaptation. Okay, we will talk about two great trees called Kabuk and Acacia. Acacia and Kabuk. Okay, the first one called Acacia tree. The two trees, I want to tell you something. The two trees, it looks like umbrella. Looks like umbrella. The two trees looks like umbrella. Acacia and Kabuk looks like umbrella. Okay, the first one, Acacia, it lives in hot or dry habitat. Dry, so it need water. How can it get water? It get water by the roots. It has very long roots. Very long roots. It's called tap roots. Why called tap roots? Because the roots get water from upside, from down, from deep down. So it's called tap roots. It has very long roots to find the water and get it to can grow. Okay, this help plant to survive because it reaches to deep underground. Deep underground. So the acacia tree has important part inside their structure called taproot. When I ask you, taproot, it's from structural or behavioral? Yeah, from structural adaptation. Okay. Look, it have many ways to adapt. It has a small leaves at the top of the tree. Small leaves. Why? Why or how does it help to adapt? It works as a cover and absorb sunlight to make food. Small leaves of acacia help it to make absorb sunlight to make food. And it is small, okay? Tap roots to fix a tree and reach underground water. Fix and get underground water. Tap root. Fix, reach underground water. Okay? It reached to 35-meter underground. Why? Because it lives in dry habitat, so it need water. It get it from underground. And it has trunk to store water. Too long and has thorns or spines around the leaves. Why? To stop animal from eating it, except giraffe. Giraffe only can eat from acacia, okay? But it has spines to stop animal from eating it. Leaves secrete poison? Yeah, the leaves of acacia secrete poison to stop animal from feeding on it. When I ask you, leaves secrete poison or the leaves will produce poison, this is structural or behavioral? Yeah, this behavioral. The tree can produce poison, the behavior that can tree do it. But when I ask you, it has long spine or it has a tab roots or small leaves, all of this, yeah, structural. What about kabuk tree? Look, the kabuk tree has roots above the ground. Has roots above the ground. Kabuk tree live in Amazon in Brazil. It reached 70 meters high. It's high, reached to 70 meters. It has what structural adaptation, but the roots look above the ground. Its roots above the ground, called buttress roots. Look. It has large buttress roots. Why? To support the plant, fix the root deeper in the sand and muddy soil because it lives in Amazon in Brazil. Okay, they have palmed hand-shaped leaves. Hand-shaped leaves. So the leaves of kapok hand-shaped like your hand. Okay? Why? To allow wind to pass through them. Okay? The hand-shaped leaves from structural or behavioral? Yeah, from structural. Buttress root. Structural. When I ask you white and pink flower make an odor to attract bats, the kapok tree attract bats moving from one flower to another. Why? To facilitate pollen, okay? It need to this. They rely on wind to reproduce because the wind blows the seed away, so it has hand shaped to allow wind to pass to can reproduce because the wind blows the seed away, okay? Okay. What about mangrove tree? Mangrove live in salt water, okay? It has aerial roots. Aerial roots means above ground roots. Help the plant to survive. Why? It helps plant to stand against waves. It's standing inside the water, so it has above ground roots to stand against any waves, okay? This is a structural. Look, this plant called water lily. It lives in wetland. It has wide leaves covered with wax. Why? Help the plant to absorb big amount of sunlight and cover the plant protected from water, so it covered with wax. Okay, this is structural or behavioral. Okay, we will continue to know the pollution. What does it mean by pollution? We have a changes affect our environment like natural changes and changed by human activities. Natural means something occurred by Allah. This cause increase or decrease number of predator or prey, and it causes the changes in our environment in the shape of our habitat. But the changes caused by human activity, it's like agriculture works, like flooding, like deforestations, okay, and swamp filling. Okay, we have two changes affect our environment. Number one called natural, like fluids, natural like fluids, like raining, like deep raining, like explosions, like higher temperature, all of them called natural. I can't enter in it, this is from Allah. But it changes caused by human, like cutting forest, cutting trees, removing all forest, deforestations, agriculture works, all of them removing sand dunes on beaches, all of these from human by human, okay? Air pollution. What effect of human activity when we make activities like removing forest, like making cars, building factories, all of them will cause a first air pollution. It results from large amount of cars and factories that work in improper way. When the amount of factory number of factories or cars increase, so the smokes increase too, and the air suffer from air pollution. Okay, and water and soil pollution. When we throw in garbage inside the water, inside oceans, so it will make water pollution and the soil pollution. All of these pollution caused by natural or by human. Yeah, I can hear you, by human. Human who is the main reason for the air, water and soil pollution. What's the effect of air and soil pollution? The animal moves from one ecosystem to another. At the first, animal cannot survive into the pollution, so they will move from one ecosystem to another to get their needs and survive. If there is natural changes, if there is explosions or floods or volcanoes, so the animal moves its ecosystem, its environment from one and go to another to can survive, to get their food and needs. Human affected if the crops don't grow. If there is soil pollution or air pollution, so the crops cannot grow. Water polluted is the difficulty in breathing. We suffer from difficult in breathing because of the smoke and air. Okay? So when the water polluted, the crops cannot grow. When the soil polluted, the crops cannot grow. But when there is smokes in the earth, the air polluted, we have difficult breathing because of the smokes. Humans have to change lifestyle and move other places less polluted. We can move from our environment that polluted to another environment that has less pollution. Okay? When we expose to pollution that cause destroy our lung, when the air polluted and there is large amount of pollution in the air that cause destroy our lung, and asthma and heart disease that cause destroy our lung and heart disease, destroy our lung and heart disease, don't forget it. How can we prevent pollution from the ecosystem? We can use cars that doesn't contain smokes. We can use factories or can don't throw anything into the water. Avoid throwing garbage into the soil or the water. Okay? We can find many solutions to throwing wastes. The second one called amphibians. Look at this photo to know what is amphibians. Amphibians like frogs, toads, salamanders, newt, okay, all of these animals from amphibians. So what does it mean by amphibians? Need to know amphibians live in moist environments. That's very important information. Amphibians live in moist environment. Moist environment. What does it mean by moist environment? Environment that contain water. They respire through lungs as humans, but they are able to take oxygen from water. So amphibians can live or can breathe by two ways. By lungs, it has lungs, and by taking oxygen from water. So when you go underwater, it can breathe also. Okay? The body of amphibians covered with moist skin allow gas and water to pass through it. Look this video and to know body of amphibians covered with moist skin. So the all amphibians has a skin allow to them to can breathe and get oxygen from water. And get oxygen from water through what? Through the skin. And can breathe in the air through its lungs. Amphibians face big problem. Why? Because there is water pollution. What's the problem? Problem leads to disappearance of its. We will suffer from the amphibians will disappear. Why? Because of water pollution. Because of water pollution. So we have project inside your booklet that's question large amount cannot answer on it. Project we make a project to protect amphibians called conservation. Conservation means save. Conservation means save. Make a project called conservation amphibians. So look, when I ask you give reason means why. Give reason means why. Body of amphibians covered with moist skin. Why? To able to breathe through its skin. Animals move from one ecosystem to another. Why the animals can move from ecosystem to another? To get their needs and survive. It need to find food. It needs to survive in another ecosystem or another environment that have less pollution. Air pollution take a place. Why there is air pollution? Because large amount of cars that produce smokes and factories produce smokes. Natural changes affect environment. Why the natural changes? Because it may cause increase or decreases the number of predator of the or the prey. When the animals give from one environment to another environment, so it will decrease its number or increase its number. When they cannot survive, it will die, so the number of it will decrease. When it can survive, so the number of it will increase. So the natural change affects the environment. Okay. Next topic called digestive system. We know we eat the food through our mouth. So we talk about digestive system in our last year. Okay. We eat the food through our mouth. Inside the mouth, we have many things help to swallow food easily. After this, we have esophagus. So the food enters esophagus. Then the food enters stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. So the digestive system starts with mouth and ends with anus. Start with mouth, ends with anus. We have two canals. The name of canal not upon you, but you have to know digestive system have a station that the food internet and another station the food doesn't internet. The mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small, large intestine, rectum, anus, that the stations that the food internet. Look, the food enter mouth, then pharynx, then enter esophagus, then stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, anus. This is the stations that the food internet. What about liver, gallbladder, and pancreas? This is organ only help to digest food. Organs only help to digest food, but the food doesn't enter in it. Okay, what is the digestion process? You know digestion process to change complex food broken down into simpler form. Change the food from complex form into simple form. Change the food from complex form into simple form. Yeah. What's the long pipe called? This long pipe called esophagus. We have esophagus long pipe connect our mouth or pharynx with the stomach. So the esophagus, that's the organ between the pharynx and stomach, or between the mouth and stomach. Okay. The stomach need helper to help in digestion process. Inside the stomach we have digestive juices and acid. Inside the stomach we have acids and digestive juices substance that help to break down the food into small pieces. What's the largest organ in digestive system? Small intestine reach to 7 meters. The small intestine twisted around each other, but if we talk about the length, so the length equal 7 meters. Okay. Okay, second station or the next station called nervous system. What about the nervous system? Look, we have animals, we talk about it, nocturnal animals. What does it mean by nocturnal animals? We said in our session all the time, nocturnal, active at night. Nocturnal animals active at night. Nocturnal animals active at night. Yes, we have 3 animals we will talk about: snake, owl, and bat. Snake, owl, and bat. All of them nocturnal animal. What does it mean? Nocturnal animal active at night. So nocturnal animal active at night. Why? Give reason means why. Give reason means why. Nocturnal animal. Why? At the day, some animals suffer from very high temperature. The temperature is very high, weather is very hot, so they cannot survive. So they sleep at the day and active at night. And the animal go to search food at night depend on darkness. Why? To surprise and catch its prey. It depends on darkness to catch their prey. Okay? So why active at night? Why nocturnal animal active at night? Due to higher temperature at the day. Okay? Or to avoid higher temperature at the day. Okay? Look, snakes, bat, owls, a snake. Snake can feel the heat of prey and get it. Feel the heat of the prey and get it the prey. Know the place of it. So the snake has the sense of feeling the heat. Snake use feeling the heat of body. But bats use echolocation. Bats use echolocation. Echolocation means what? Means producing sound. When the sound hits something, it returns back to it and knows the location. Owl, it has super capability or super ability of hearing, and it can rotate their head for all directions 360 degree. The owl can rotate their head in all direction. Why? To can catch the prey easily. Okay? Look, enter the nervous system. Our nervous system contains of main three parts. You have to know the parts of nervous system. Brain in our head. Brain inside our head. Brain inside our head. Spinal cord inside backbone. Spinal cord inside backbone. And nervous distributed to all body. And nervous distributed to all body. Okay? Easy. We have 5 sensory organs. What does it mean by sensory organs? Sensory organs, the organs that's responsible for our 5 senses. So we have 5 sensory organs to respond to environmental changes. When I ask you, I listen new music. So the sensory organ is, yeah, I can hear you. The sensory organ is ears. When I ask you, I can see new camera today to us. So the sensory organ, our eyes. So the 5 sensory organ, it's eyes, nose, ears, eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Nervous system. What's the function of nervous system? Nervous system can control everything that you do, like breathing, walking, thinking, all actions that you do or that you feel. That's because what? Our nervous system. Our nervous system consists of brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Nervous system responsible for you be happy, calm, excited, shocked, or angry. Okay? Look what happened. The brain sends signals, or this is called impulses. The sensory organ, like skin, when you touch something, your nerves carry message according to impulses. Look at red circles, like impulses. Impulses go to the brain, then the brain resend message or action to do. Okay? When you hold spines, so the skin, through the nerves, it go electrical impulses or signals go up and reach to the brain. And the brain send a message to your hand to far it away or keep it far away from the spines. Okay? So inside our body there is brain, spinal cord, and nerves. The nerves carry message to the brain and the brain gets the action again. Look, Sensory organs receive information from all environment, like skin, like tongue, like eyes, like ears, and the nerves connect sensory organ with the brain. So, nerves receive information from the sensory organ. Send signals like electrical impulses, the red circles that we show, to the brain again. Okay, so this is how does the body respond to external stimuli, like when you smell something. So the sensory organ in your nose receive the information. So the nose receive information from outside. There is a smell. So the nerves inside your nose get the information and receive it by signals to your brain. Then the brain send message to your body, or to know there is a smell of what? The smell of pizza, the smell of pasta, the smell of what? You know the smell. So your nervous system responsible for anything that you do or anything that you feel. Okay? When I ask you what are the parts of the nervous system, yeah, you should answer by 3 parts: brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Super. Okay. Look, this is called Egyptian jerboa. It's from rodents. Jerboa from rodents. Look, jerboa has large legs and so small hands, large ears and tail, and has hairy legs. There is hair inside their legs. Okay, it has large ears, called jumping jerboa. Why? Because its legs like kangaroo and it can jumping in curved lines. Jump. Jerboa can jump in zigzag. Jerboa jump in zigzag like this and this and this and this. Not jumping in the straight line. So it jumps in curved lines. It has legs like kangaroo, and it has large tails, large ears. Okay, when I ask you, jerboa has hairy legs. Inside the legs there is hair. Jerboa can live in desert. Jerboa live in desert. So, to catch the sand and jump. It has hairs to catch sand and jump. When I ask you, jerboa has large ears. What do you think? Why? Jerboa has large ears to listen to sound of its predator and escape quickly. What's the predator of jerboa? Snake. Jerboa can listen to the snakes, so it has large ears to escape quickly. Okay? Can feel the presence of the snake. How? When the snake make noise like so, the sensory receptor in jerboa ears, we talk about it, we have sensory organs and we receive information through it, send the message through our nerves to the brain. So the brain interprets or send the message again, orders the legs to start moving and jump away to escape. This is called response action. This is called what? Response action. When you see something danger and you escape quickly, this is called response action. When you hold something hot and you keep far away, this is called response action. Okay? We have something called response time. What does it mean by response time? Response time means the time taken, okay, by living organisms to receive and respond. The time between receiving information and respond to it. The time between you see your mom and go away to her. Okay? Time taken when you see something falls down and go quickly to hold it. The time taken. Response time. Time taken between receive and respond. Time taken between receive and respond. So response time. Time taken between receive information and respond to the information. Okay? Now we enter to light and sight. Okay, can you tell me the sources? No, this is the wrong letter. It's should be E, okay? The sources of light around us. First one, the main source of light is the sun. The sun is the main or primary source of light. Second one is the candles, electric lamps. We have torches. We have many sources of light around us, but the main source of primary source is the sun, okay? The source of light can produce what? We have type of energy produced by the sources of light from its name, light energy. So any source of light produce light energy. Any source of light produce light energy. Can you see in the dark? Imagine with me, you go into the dark, completely dark room, and the curtains cover all the window from the moonlight. So can you see something? No, I don't think that. You cannot see something in the dark. Human cannot see in the dark, but nocturnal animal do. Nocturnal animal can see in the dark. Do you know why? Because they have different eye structure than human, like large eyes and wider pupil. Large eye and wider pupil. They have other strong senses like hearing to can hunt in the dark. So they can see and hunt in the dark like owl, like bats, like snakes, like Terzer monkey. We have another animal called Terzer monkey. Terzer monkey from nocturnal animal, okay? It's so small, it has height till 10 centimeters only. Live in Asia. Okay, it feed on insects and lizard. Terzer monkey can feed on insects and lizard. It's nocturnal, but it's from mammals. Terzer monkey from mammals. Terzer monkey from mammals. Okay, it has two large eyes. Collect the surrounding light and reflect it to form image. Collect the light from surrounding and reflect it to form image. So Terzer monkey, it's so small. It's from mammals, nocturnal animals, and can hunt in the dark, feed on insects and lizards. Okay, how do reflection occur, or how can we see object? I want to tell you something. We see object because the light falls on the object then reflected to our eyes, but we don't see object because there is no source of light. If there is no source of light, we cannot see anything. But if there is source of light, the light falls on our eyes? No, the light falls on the object at first, then reflected to our eyes. So we can see object. Again, the light falls on the object at first, then reflected to our eyes. So we can see object. We can see our laptop. We can see our pencil case, our bag. Because there is a source of light falls on the bag, then falls reflected to our eyes. When I ask you that put true or false, the light falls on our eyes directly? No. The light falls on the object, then reflected. Falls on the object, then reflected. Okay? Thanks for everyone and hope you get more help. Thank you.